Hello there. Um, I hope everyone can hear me. I'm just going to wait a minute to see if anybody comes in. I know it's late. Um, and I was planning on coming on earlier. Of course, it didn't work out. You know how that goes. So here I am now. How is everyone doing today? I hope everyone is doing well. Um, where's my chat? Let me know, guys, if you can hear me. Just put something um, in the chat. Let me know you can hear me. If anyone, I'm not going to be on here long. I just wanted to come on if any, see if anybody needed a reading tonight. It's, of course, it is donation based. Um, so if you want a reading, just put it in the chat for me, and put your name and your question. One question, $11. One card question, $11, and a deeper read would be $22. So let me know, guys, what you want to do. Like I said, I won't be on here long. So, we can just have a conversation. I hope everyone's doing good tonight. Of course, I'm not doing any health related, no health related um, questions, health, legal, or nothing political. So this is just for your a personal reading, a quick personal reading. If you guys are interested, I will be on for a minute, not long. I see some people are in the chat. Just put a hello in there and let me know you're here. So how's everybody doing? Let me know where you are from, where you're listening in from. I think you guys can hear me. Let me know where you're listening in from if you're in the chat, please. So, how are you guys feeling about everything that's going on in the world today? At least we can have a conversation, guys. If you don't want to, even if you don't want to um, get a read, I had promised that I would come on tonight and do some readings. But if you're not interested, that's fine. We can just chat. Where are you guys calling from? Or where are you guys chatting from? I tried to get on earlier, but it didn't work out, so I'm here now, guys. So let me know what you need. If you're new here, let me know. Hi, Valerie. Good to see you. Hi, Mary. I would like to know if I will be moving this year. Okay. All right. Valerie wants to know. Hi, Latrice. How are you? One moment. Glad you guys could join me. Let me just. Uh, Great. Glad you guys are doing good tonight. I'm trying to find my live on here. And it's not popping up. I know I'm late. I'm so glad you guys could join me. And it's not popping up. One moment, guys. Okay, there we go. All right. Guys, it is donation based tonight, so whatever you feel that you can give for a reading, I would appreciate it. Um, it would help me a lot, you know, because I'm on here, I'm on the channel, but okay, thank you. Thank you, Valerie. All right. Valerie wants to know if she will be moving this year. Yeah, I appreciate anything you guys can do because YouTube really doesn't pay very much at all. It just keeps me going. Okay. Thank you, Shirley. Good to see you guys. All right, Spirit. I'm getting yes, but let me just pull a card to make sure. Sometimes I rely more on hearing Spirit speak than even pulling a card, so. Strength card. Yes, you will be. Is that, I hope that's what you want, is a yes. Because you will be. Definitely. Definitely. So I hope that's what you're looking for. Okay. Oh, yeah, I see. Thank you. Thank you, Valerie. Did you want to move? Because it looks like you will be. Oh, good. So you're moving. Yes, you are. You're moving this year. You can count on it. I heard yes, and I pulled the card that said yes. So great. Yep. How you guys? How is your evening going today? I hope everybody's doing good. You know, I'm glad that people are here because I wanted to get on here before now, but I had some running around to do. You guys know how that is. I had a lot of running around to do, and I did it. And then I got home and I started doing some other things. You know, it's Saturday, so oh great. I'm glad. I'm glad that's working for you, Valerie. Yeah. So you're gonna stay in California. You're in California right now, near San Francisco. Where are you planning on moving to? Are you going to stay in California, or are you just moving from one home to another and staying there, or what are you planning on doing? This is a big move for you, Valerie. Yep. Well, I'm glad. I hope it works out for you. I know it will, though. I got a yes right away when I asked Spirit, so it's gonna work out for you. Yeah. So people are coming in. We're doing donation based. I want a single story home. Okay. Yep. I now have a 3-story home. Oh, okay. So you're going to downsize. Wow. Or are you just putting it all on one level? So, those of you that are coming in, we're doing donation based card readings. So, yeah, tired of the stairs. Yeah, I can understand that. Well, I hope you find what you need. Yeah, I guess those stairs can get to you sometime. I'm still going up and down mine still, so it just depends on what day it is and all that. But I kind of have to because my studio is upstairs. So thank you guys for hitting that like button. I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys for being here also. So, what's the weather like where you guys are at? Because we've had pretty good weather. When I say pretty good, I mean like today it was 36, which is excellent for us, even though we had a little like snow showers and that kind of thing. But for it to be 36 in January is really good. I know to some people that sounds crazy. Probably for you, Valerie, you're in California. Um, 36. I consider that a warm day here in Michigan. Yeah, I get that. Tired of throwing your clothes. Yep. Yeah, I get it. I feel the same way sometimes, but yeah, I throw mine down the stairs all the time. Trying to the laundry room and that kind of thing. Oh, 50 degrees in Alabama. Okay, is that cool for Alabama? That sounds cool for Alabama, unless I'm missing something. If we're 30, if we're 35 here, I don't know. It seems like should Alabama be around 70 right now, or the trees, or am I missing something? Maybe I'm thinking it should be warmer, and it's not. Oh yeah. So I'm sure that feels cool to you then. You probably got your jacket out and everything. Long sleeve sweater. Tomorrow morning will be 37. Really? Yeah, I would think that's cold where you are. Wow. That's about, well, I think tomorrow, the later it gets tonight, I think we're going to get like in the 20, like 29 or something like that. But 37, yeah. See, that's warm for us now. But in the morning it'll get even worse. I don't understand how did Let me look at this. I don't understand. How did I reach so far? I guess I don't know what you're talking about. Um, cool B, Cool B Ray, year 3XP. I don't understand your question. Oh, me too, Latrice. I can't wait till spring. I mean, up until February, I know that here in Michigan it's going to be cold. February, well, January and February are the worst months. March, it can still be cold, but we know that we are, turning the corner, which, you feel better about things. Just like today, I mean, it was like after 5, probably about 5:30 when it started getting dark. Because normally we got after Christmas, I think it started getting warmer, a little bit every day. Not warmer, lighter. It stayed lighter a little bit every day, and then now it's like 5:30, and I'm so happy because, that half hour makes a difference. You said you seem okay. Um, I'm new to your channel. I was just scrolling. It seems I am the only Asian, or you can say Indian here. Oh, well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure who's what, but glad to have you. Yeah, February is definitely going to be cold. I just hope we don't get storms, in which, we probably will. You got to have one or two good ones, in the month of February. So I think that's what we're looking for. But just hope it don't get too bad. But the winters really haven't been that bad. Not like they were when I was a kid. I can remember when they were really bad. So yeah, welcome, Cool Beer. I hope you will subscribe. Cool Beer. I don't know how to pronounce it, and I know I'm messing it up. Cool Berry. Cool Berry? Cool Berry. Is that how I should be pronouncing that? Are you Where are you located, Coolberry? So you're saying that are you in India? Is that what you're saying? Oh, okay. Well, technology, you can get almost anywhere these days. You're not the first person that I've had subscribe to my channel from India, that's for sure. So I guess, it depends on the algorithm and how it gets you, who it brings to the channel. How is everybody this evening? We are just having a conversation, and let me know. Yeah, you're in India. Well, nice to know that you reached this far. Thank you guys for the thumbs up. I appreciate you. Um, well, what's the weather like in India right now? And are you guys hot in India? Or what time of year is it? Spring, summer? Hey, Lisa, how are you? If anybody wants a reading, I am here. It's just a donation, just to help me keep me going on YouTube. It's hard in these YouTube streets, guys, to make some money. I'm telling you. So, um, it just helps. So if anybody wants a reading, one card. I'm glad to come here as well. Good, great. One card, $11 for one question, and a three-card read is 22. I think that's yeah, 22. I'm doing great, Lisa. Thanks for asking. Oh, it's 19 degrees? So, okay. So you guys are in India, you're just as cold as we are here in Michigan then. Wow. Is this winter for you in India? Is this winter for you, Coolberry? Must be winter. I know nothing about India at all. I don't know about the seasons or anything. I don't know why I just assumed that it would be warm in India. But it sounds like you guys have four seasons too, maybe? Probably. Lisa, where are you from, Lisa? I forgot. I'm sure you told me. I like that picture you have up there. Yeah, there's been. Oh, you're in Cleveland. Okay, yeah. Well, you understand. You understand all about this weather. You have three main seasons. Do you get winter? Okay, you got Lisa. It was 35. That's about the same as us here in Michigan. But I felt like that was good. That was warm. I went out and got in the warm weather. Just some snow flurries, but it wasn't bad at all. But it's gonna get in the 20s tonight, so or this morning after 12 probably start getting into the 20s. Yeah, so do you have a winter season? I have a feeling that you don't. Coolberry. Um, you have like a summer, like a fall, spring and summer. Is that how you guys have it? Probably don't get snow like we do. Well, I can't believe it's so many people joining me tonight. I'm gonna have to start doing some later some later readings. This is wonderful. Okay, you don't come from the part of India where it snows, so the cold here isn't that bad. Okay, so it does snow in some parts of India, then I get that. Summer, rainy, and winter. Oh, you have a rainy season. Wow, okay. Every place is so different because if I'm not mistaken, Valerie, in California, don't you have like a dry? Yeah, you do have a dry season because the dry season is when you guys get the fires. Now here we have all four seasons. Now you don't know when. I shouldn't say that. You don't know when they're going to come, but sometimes we have shorter summers and longer winters. But we get all four seasons for sure. Yeah, and I think in California, don't you? Did you just have some flooding there, Valerie? Seems like you guys just had some flooding too, if I can remember. Because when it rains, since you guys don't get a lot of rain, Ohio weather is weird sometimes. Yeah, same here. Well, we're close, so we ours is weird too. You know, and the South has really been being kind of funny this year from the people that I've talked to in the South, the family. Their weather has been kind of funny too. I think it's just the climate change. I think, guys, is what's happening. Hey, if you guys like these later time periods, yes, we did have some flooding. Yeah, I thought I heard that. Um, we have a cousin there. It seemed like he was saying that there was a lot of flooding. So, if you guys like some of you that are in here, if you like the later slots like this, let me know. Just put a thumbs up or something. Say yes. Okay, we usually don't get much rain. Right. So when it rains, it floods from from western central India. See, now I have to look that up on the map. So you from what? Okay, India. What do you guys call your different thing? Like we call ours states. What do you call yours? This is something that I've been out of school a long time, so I wouldn't know. Um, I know you don't call them states. Um, what would you call them? Coolberry. You say you're from Western Central, but is there anything else that tells you exactly where you would be? Like I'm in Michigan, Valerie's in California, Lisa's in Ohio. Get a history lesson tonight, guys. Okay. You call them states too, and you're from, let me see, Maharashtra. Maharashtra. Have I heard of that before? 28 states. Okay. That's interesting. Hmm. I know you guys are really colorful though with your dress and that kind of thing, and your wraps and all that kind of thing. I do know that. That's just the image that we see. I don't know anything, to tell you the truth, and I shouldn't say that because maybe where you're at you don't do that. But I know that the clothes are really colorful. I've seen that. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful clothing for sure. What's on everybody's mind tonight? Anything? Maharisha. Maha. No, that's what I'm thinking. Maharashtra. Okay. I'm gonna have to look that up. I like learning new things. Am I the only one like that on here, or just other people? I'm always trying to figure something out or learn something new. I don't know about you guys, but that just keeps my mind going, keeps me thinking. Well, what about this and what about that? And that's how I do my readings too. When if you guys are used to me doing my readings, I got to go down the rabbit hole. Um, I want to know why. Why did I get this? Or maybe I didn't say it right, or ask spirit in the right way, and I'm going deeper, deeper, deeper. That's how I do it. Yes, they are. But in the city type, we just wear casual clothes, and about traditional, we wear it on festives, or you can say functions. Okay. And the reason, um, like if you go somewhere out of state, just say, or wherever tourists are, and you see people from India, they always have on a nice, beautiful gowns and that kind of thing. And maybe that's kind of the dress up kind of things, maybe, is what I'm seeing then. But the clothes are always beautiful. Just wear casual clothes. Yeah, okay. So I guess it's like anybody when you go to a different country or something, you're going to try to look your best. So I think that's what you're saying for functions and that kind of thing, festivals or functions. Yeah, because you stand out. Indian people stand out for sure. You're beautiful people, very beautiful people. Yeah. So, okay, well, let's talk food. Um, what did you guys have for dinner today? Just type it in the chat. We can keep the conversation going. Um, I had greens today that came out of my garden, and you're 17. I am actually 17. Wow. Okay. Well, good for you. And they were sari. On daily basis in India, only aunties wear saris. Oh, only aunties. But it depends on what region you live on. So when you say only aunties, does that mean would an auntie be somebody married? When you say aunties, why are they only the only ones that wears the sari? Is it because they are older, or is it because they have a spouse? That's what I was thinking about, is the sari. Okay, we got pizza and vegetable soup. Yeah, I had collard greens and cornbread and um, a yam. That was it. Oh, fish, chips, and salad. See, I should have had a salad. I was too lazy, Lisa. I was too lazy to make a salad. Oh, that's Valerie had the yeah, fish. That sounds good. Fish, chips, and salad, and vegetable soup. I think no, yesterday I had tacos, but the day before that I had soup. I had tomato soup. Oh, aunties because they're married. Okay, got you. So when you're married, does that mean you have to cover up? Now, you being 17, do you not have to cover up? Lettuce wrap hamburger. Latrice, that sounds good because you know what? You don't have the bun, right? Oh, you went out to eat. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Oh, yeah, Sunday was my out day. I had from um Olive Garden. I had what you call it? Jesus, what you call it? Of course, I can't think of it. I'm looking at it. It'll come to me. But why can't I think of it? What's the name? Oh, eggplant parmesan. Eggplant parmesan. And it also comes with the spaghetti with the sauce on it. It's delicious, and you get a salad. Yep, and that was good. Recipes. Hi, Karen. You say you need recipes for better foods for adults 50 plus. You probably can find a book for that. To give you some. You're thinking healthy recipes, Karen. Valerie, pork chops tomorrow. Baked, fried, or barbecued? How do you make them? Okay, roti, rice, and lentils. Lentils, one of my favorite things. I am. I'm vegan. I had vegan tacos the other day when I had tacos. Yeah, yeah, that's how I eat. Yeah, breadsticks. That sounds good. Yeah, they give you breadsticks with the when you go to the Olive Garden too. You can get the breadsticks with it. You know what? I try not to eat so much bread, but I do anyway. I really need to be working on it now because I haven't been working out like I normally do. So I got to get back on. I got to get back on track. Valerie, you probably heard me talk about it. I kind of had to go. I had to stop eating meat because my health. I did it for health reasons, not because I was trying to save the animals or anything like that. I was trying to save myself. That's the bottom line. Yep, just trying to save myself. Never ending salads and breadsticks. Yep, that's, yep. And when you eat that, then the salads, you get full off the salads. No. Well, a long time ago, I had Latrice before I stopped eating meat, and that used to be one of my favorite ones. You can't seem to give up bacon. Well, that's good if you can still eat it. I think that's wonderful if you can still eat it. Like I said, I didn't give it up because you know for for the animals. I gave it up because I had to. Okay. It depends on city about clothing. In the village area, girls my age wear kurti. It depends on what they are allowed in their house or where they live in. Oh, it's open-minded people or just conservatives. Okay, I get that. Yeah. So okay, it's kind of like here. It's kind of like the religion kind of thing. You know, if you're in a certain kind of religion, you can't wear. You got to wear certain clothes and that kind of thing. Yeah, I get that. You cook different greens, but maybe a different way to cook them, and chicken and fish. Yeah, I think that's a good diet. Chicken and fish. Sometimes I think we have to be careful how we cook the food. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's anything wrong with chicken and fish. And to everybody, you know, if you can, as long as you can eat that food and it doesn't bother you, I mean, then I think you're okay. If I could still eat it, I'd be eating it too. Yep, yep. Tabitha Brown, she went vegan. I've been vegan for over 20 years, though. You know, I stopped a long time ago. Don't eat veal or venison. Venison was never good to me. I don't know if I ever. Is veal a part? But veal, is that like a fish? No, that's from a regular animal, I think. Venison always tasted kind of rank to me, or what do you call it? Too, you know, it's like if you get fish that's too fishy. Veal to me tasted like, um, oh, I don't know what you call it, but um, and people say, well, it tastes just like beef, but I remember when I had it way back, it didn't taste like beef to me. Oh yeah, I have that problem too. It was worse. It was a lot worse. Valerie, high blood pressure. Yeah, I think that the thing is how you cook it. If you are cooking, if you're frying it, and which we do as African Americans, you know, we fry everything. Um, so, I, and I was watching this African channel, guys. I don't know what's the name of that channel. African Life or something like that. Do you know they fry everything in heavy grease too? Almost everything. But the thing about it is they get out and they walk. They walk everywhere. They exercise. You know, they get their exercise. They're always moving. And I think that's the difference with us, you know, is that we jump in the car and we don't get as much exercise. I think we sit around. I think if we got as much exercise, um, you know, as our parents did because they walked a lot, then maybe we wouldn't have some of the problems that we have. Oh, veal is a baby cow. Okay. Yeah, I knew that the venison was the deer meat. Yeah. Yeah. A baby cow. Does it taste different than a regular cow? I don't know. Oh, it's 8:52 in California. Okay, it's yeah, we're 3 hours apart. It's 11:53 p.m. right here in Michigan. Been looking for you. So glad to catch this. Oh, you've been looking for me. Well, thank you. I'm glad you did catch. You know what? I think that what happens too is that I think YouTube's just if you were subscribed to me, sometimes they'll just take you off. They'll unsubscribe you. You know, if you don't keep watching. I think that's what happens because sometimes I get unsubscribed from shows. Yeah, La Juliet Cheeks. 8:52 in California. Okay, so normally, yeah. So when you're normally on, Valerie, because usually I'll come on at 8:50, so that means it's like five, yeah, 5:50 for you. It's not that late because you're always on the channel, but I didn't even think about that. So it's not that late for you. And that's exactly what it is, Karen. It tastes wild. Like it's been out there. I don't like that kind of, yeah. I guess you probably have to soak it in vinegar or something like that. But still, some people are okay with it. Some people are okay with the taste, but I never enjoyed. I don't like wild things like that. I never did like wild things. Like, I don't know if you guys, like, I know back in the day, my mother used to cook like squirrel and rabbit. But coming from the South, thanks for the thumbs up, guys. Coming from the South, you ate what you could find. Thinking about my parents, but um, you know, I could. First of all, I don't have time to be skinning nothing, you and that kind of thing. So that would be I couldn't do that. Oh, 10:25 in India. So you are, oh, you about 10:25. That would make you probably about a half hour. Latrice 10:55 here. Yeah. We are on the same time zone, Latrice. Yeah, you're about half an hour in India behind us. Huh. So it's not that late, really. I mean, I'm more of a night owl, guys. That's why I come on late a lot of times because, I'm up anyway and I'm used to being up um, because um, for me, I am used to working in my art studio until late. It's quiet and you can just do your thing and just get in the flow. Um, so I'm used to being up. It's 11 January 11th here. I think yeah, we're still the 10th. Got a few more minutes. So it's the 11th there already. Yeah, we gotta. It's gonna turn over in a minute. But you guys are already. I wonder how that works. Oh, maybe saving daylight savings or whatever. I don't know. So you're a day ahead of us, Coolberry. You must be a day ahead of us. I mean, gotta be. Okay, they're Sunday. Yeah, they're a day ahead of us. Huh. And 10:25. 10:25 a.m. Hmm. Wow. Yeah, we're still the 10th. And yeah, you got it. You're a day ahead of us. Hmm. Wow. So, Coolberry, have you graduated from high school yet? Do you have another year to go in high school? This year 17. Normally, well, I graduated when I was 17, but then my birthday was going to be in September, and I would turn 18. But we graduated in June. So, are you still in high school or are you out already and getting ready for college? Oh, Lisa says she's a night owl too, but I should be sleeping because I have to go to congregation in the morning. Yeah. Well, if you're like me, um, it's not going to take that many hours anyway. I get 4 good hours. I'm good. You know, 4.5 hours. That's usually, and I guess that's not unusual. Not yet this year. Yep, you'll be graduating this year. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's about right. But I started when I first went to school. I was 4, just because of the way my birthday fell. So I was 17 when I got out. Have you bought any new tarot cards, Karen? Um, you know what? I did. I'm trying to think. I bought them and I put them with my stash. I looked at them and I put them. Let me see if they're up here anywhere. Nope. I put them with my stash, and I haven't really played with them yet. But you know what? I have so many tarot cards. It's crazy. I have so many decks, and for the most part, I love most of them. I remember when I first started doing tarot online, I was just like doing with the pick a card, three, the pick a cards, and I would use all different kinds of cards, and that was fun. But then, when he came back in the office, and we got so, you know, everybody was doing him. Y'all know who I'm talking about. And so I stopped using all the different varieties of cards that I have, but I'm going to get back into it because I really enjoy doing that. You use different cards, and you still get the right answer, which is crazy. You don't have to stay with the same deck to get the answer that you need. So, that's what I used to do, and I'm trying to get back into it because I'm so sick of talking about that. And here's some cards here that I got here on my desk, guys. Let me show you. These, I can't remember what they're called now. I was going to use them. I don't have the box sitting here. Sometimes I just play with them. But look at these. Look at how cool these cards are. Like this. It has so much detail in it. Um, that you can get a lot of information from some of them. And every once in a while, I'll pull out a different deck. But they're really, I like the ones that are different like that because it really challenges your intuition. And when you get used to reading like just from the regular um, the regular tarot cards, like um, the ones that we all use all the time. These, it kind of they kind of stifle your growth in a sense because I mean you know them so well, but when you start using different cards, it challenges your intuition, and that's why I like using different cards sometimes. But I got a lot of them sitting here on my desk because sometimes I don't know which. It depends on the question that people have, which ones I'm going to use. And even this one here, this is the one I like to use right here for the felon. It's the Edgar Allan Poe deck, and you would think, Edgar Allan Poe. You think about poems and things like that, but it's not even like that. It is strange how this deck. This is a fun deck, but it gets to the point. It gets to the questions you're asking. This one here, I don't see a lot of people using this deck, the Edgar Allan Poe deck, but that's one that I love. I love to use that one too because it's kind of political. It gets to the political stuff. Let me. I'm missing some things here, guys. Um, Pagan Unitarians. So I call it. Oh, congregation. Oh, well, I didn't know that. I just felt like when you said congregation, you were talking about church. I attend a Pentecostal faith-based church. Yeah, that's what I grew up in. Pentecostal. Hi, Blueberry. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm gonna have to start coming on later. You guys be hanging out at in the evening. Just Blueberry, where are you? What time is it where you are? Yeah, I didn't expect to have this many people come on. And then I have this deck here. You guys probably see me using this one. Um, it is called. I got the box over there too, but this is an unusual deck too. And this is the High Priestess right here. Okay, it's okay. Some call it church. So what do you do different in the pagan Unitarian? You know what? I went to a Unitarian church one time. It was, but they didn't call it pagan. I mean, I went to visit. I visited there, and it was a nice church. So what do you guys do different, Lisa, that you wouldn't do in a regular church, if you know? Yeah, I grew up in the Pentecostal church. There was a lot of things that I couldn't understand. I just couldn't. Anyway, needless to say, I don't go there anymore. But I mean, everybody, we learned something from wherever we go. It's all there to teach us something. And I believe that, you know. This deck is called the Change Tarot deck. And it's a little different too. The Hermit. I had said that I wasn't going to. This is the Five of Swords. I'm surprised. Okay. Lisa. No, not Lisa. Valerie. Valerie. You attend a Pentecostal church, but you watch tarot. How did that happen? Because anybody I know, the people that I know that attended a Pentecostal church that I grew up with, they don't want to have anything to do with tarot. So what happened? Tell me. I would like to know really, because I mean, some people, okay, the church that you grew up in might be a little different. Maybe it wasn't as strict as the Pentecostal church that I grew up in. Um, but anything that wasn't, okay, so this would not be of God. Yeah, Karen says I have a lot of tarot decks, and some of them do not work with certain circumstances. I love them all and want to continue to buy more. Yeah, see, that's the thing. They work for different things. It's like um, I couldn't pick, let's say, like this one. Now, this True Crimes deck, you know, this works for criminals. This works for people that like our leaders right now. But there are some decks that I have that I use for different things, like positive things. So that's why we have so many decks, because some work for one thing and another works for another thing. So, yeah, I see that. Yeah, so I'm always on the lookout for something new or something different. Okay, so yeah, you have different spiritual beliefs. Yeah, it all works out because it's all inclusive, which is good. So you don't say if you're not a Pentecostal sometimes can be a little bit, they discriminate a little bit because the Pentecostal and the Baptists think that they are totally different. Yeah, and the thing about it is they do rituals. Valerie, they do rituals. But if you did a ritual, like if I did a ritual, they would think that was the worst thing in the world to do. But all the churches do rituals. You know, the Catholics, they do rituals. Pentecostal, Baptists, they all do rituals. But if you're not in the church doing the ritual, or they don't call it a ritual, which is the thing that, they don't recognize that that's what they're doing, I think. And I feel like the Pentecostal church, to me, is kind of closer to probably what was happening in Africa back in the day, you know? Because I think that, well, I think they were more nature based in a sense, you know, not exactly, but in a sense. Okay, Coolberry. Thank you for stopping in. I hope you subscribe so you can come back. It was nice talking to you and learning all the history that you have. All right, thank you. Yeah, get your studies in. Most of us here don't have to study anymore. Um, but I know that um, even though they're friends, one thinks Pentecostal thinks their religion is better than Baptist, and Baptist thinks their religion is better than Pentecostal. That is kind of backwards in a sense. Oh, Grammy 2-4 says Pentecostal for years, and they do discriminate. Yeah, they do. Yeah. So, because some of my family members are still, pretty much, well, even if they're not Pentecostal anymore, but a lot of them still are, um, they just don't even want to talk to me because I read tarot cards. And the thing about it is because, I know things too, which is so crazy because um, you know how you can connect to spirit and, you call it psychic, whatever you want to call it. My mother was that way, and we have family members that are that way. Now they can tell you something, but you can't look at this card and say, get some intuition from here, which I don't have to do that. I don't have to look at these cards, but it's entertaining and people like it when you read the cards and stuff like that. But it's okay if they have a dream and they tell you, or they have a feeling about something and they tell you. But because I'm online and I look at these cards, that is just the devil. But I mean, what are you supposed to do about the gifts? Everything comes from spirit. So even these cards. So what are you supposed to do about the gifts that spirit gave you? I think you're supposed to use them. That's just my opinion. You don't get them for anything, just to have them. You grew up in a Baptist church. The old generation women do not wear pants. Yeah, I know that about the Pentecostal. Well, Yeah, I don't think we wore pants at all in church, whether you were Baptist or you're Pentecostal. See, my grandmother was Baptist, and a couple of my aunts, and then the rest of the women were Pentecostal. So I had both worlds. And at a point, my father didn't believe at all. So I had three different kinds of worlds going on. So, um, yeah, no lipstick. You couldn't wear makeup, period. Um, and the clothes had to be so long. You couldn't wear a short, your sleeve had to come at least, past your elbow. I remember that. In certain Pentecostal households, this is my family I'm talking about. Um, see, my mother had seven sisters. It was seven of them, and she was the third of seven. And some of them sisters, their children, my cousins, they could not watch TV, period, because it was of the world. So some of them grew up a lot stricter than I did because of the way my mother and my father believed. So I got both. And then my grandmother was Baptist. Now, as far as Catholic, I don't. There's no Catholic. I mean, it's all Christianity. Um, but I didn't have any of that. I just knew friends that were, and I heard about how you had to convert. That's all about the money. If you marry somebody, you got to convert and you got to give them the money. So, but you got to give them the money in all the churches. Anyway, um, Lisa says, one person might hold Christian beliefs, some are Jewish, some, okay, but we all coexist. That's basically what yeah, Unitarian Universalism is all about. Yeah, all together. So you just, but when you say, okay, so some people don't believe in Jesus Christ, right? Because I don't think Jewish people do. But you have Christian beliefs, which is different. Um, I have friends raised Baptist too. You were raised Baptist too, and yes, it's a very strict religion. Yeah, as you can't think for yourself, basically, in the Catholic or the Pentecostal religion. You can't think for yourself. You pretty much got to think about what you could do, what the pastor says you have to do. So you just give all your power over to this one person. But I think about the Jehovah Witnesses. I have a friend that's a Jehovah Witness. Well, when we see each other, we know that that's what we are. But on a normal basis, they don't just hang around with people like me. You know what I'm saying? There's certain people, and if you do certain things within that religion, they'll kick you out. If your kids are not of that religion, I think you can't talk to them or something like that. They really, really are strict. So, it's kind of like you got to convert to that Jehovah's Witness. They are bad. I shouldn't say that, but they all believe in their own thing, I guess. But that's the only thing about religion is you just don't never know. Oh, so they may be atheist or agnostic. Okay, so how does that work? When you are, what are you? Okay, you said that. So what do they teach? How do they teach? Okay, is it just like universal laws, maybe? Is that what they're teaching? Because you can't teach Christianity and you're an atheist or agnostic. So it must be just universal laws that you're following. And that's interesting. Because all those people in one place, and you got to be careful what you say and what you talk about and that kind of thing. Because you can, you know, put some people off very quickly if you don't speak the right thing. So, Lisa, what are they teaching? Like I said, I went to one once and it was nice, but I never went back. And that's probably when I decided that I wasn't just going to I was done. Not that they were bad, because they were good, but it wasn't near where I lived. So, um, yeah, it was like 80 miles away. But I guess if I were going to go, that's the kind of church I would want to go to. Um, because I really don't think, guys, that someone can teach you how to be a good person. I think you're already born a good person, period. Now, we're born as sinners and all this kind of stuff. I don't know about all that. Um, that's just not my belief. I think you are taught certain things, and you still have to have that inner awareness to know that you shouldn't take stuff from people. You know, you shouldn't unalive people, things like that. I think that's just natural and normal that, we just already know that. Nobody should have to teach you. You should know that you should treat people the way you want to be treated. That should just come natural and normal to me. So I don't know. Religion is something. It's pretty deep, and everybody's going to teach something in a different way, which is another reason why, you just don't know what to believe, because you go to this religion, they're going to tell you one thing, you go to that one another thing, and the Jehovah Witnesses, like my friend, she come here and knock on the door. I let her in, and she tells me all the things that's different from what I learned in the Pentecostal or the Baptist church, and then it's like, oh my God, something is not right with this picture, you know. And that's just how I see it. But I don't know exactly what they would teach in the Unitarian Church. But I can remember that was years ago. It was pretty. It was a nice church, and I can't remember. I think sometimes they did pull out the Bible, though. Do they do that at all, Lisa? In the church that you go to, seems like they had pulled out the Bible. And if you're not a Christian, I don't know if you would be listening to what's in the Bible. I mean, there are some good things in the Bible, but I'm just saying, it's naturally a Christian based um, read. So, which is different. I'm just looking at you guys' comments. Okay. No, but you do sing hymns. Okay, got it. Well, that makes sense. I mean, you're worshiping. Um, I think music is just music, period. The only thing I don't like is when the music gets to be so depressing and you leave the building and you're depressed because of what the music was. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing, you know, because you can get depressed, You can go to church and come out depressed. You know, it's supposed to be uplifting. So, anybody else would have a different kind of religion that they do? Karen, do you read tarot for others, or do you have a something online? Maybe do you do anything like online or anything like that? You say you have a lot of tarot cards, so or you just read for yourself. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I believe Jesus walked this earth for sure. Um, Grammy 2-4 says, I believe in Jesus, but not the church, because that's a religion. I think that's a man made religion, maybe why you don't believe in the church, because you have to follow a certain belief system. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's me. The religious part of it, you got it's kind of like, yeah, you got to be in a certain group. You got to think this way. Now, if you don't think this way, you can't be a part of our church. You know, that kind of thing. Mm-mm. No, that is the thing that turns me off. Like I said, you don't have to think for yourself anymore because they're going to think for you. They're going to tell you what to do, how to do it, when to do it, all that kind of stuff. So, and I think that should just come naturally. Because I think you're just born. But we get it. The religion that you are born into, that your parents believe in. Usually, that's just we get that same thing because that's what they know and that's what they teach us. So it's just passed down and passed down. You know, but like I said, for me, it was. My father didn't believe, and my mother did. So it was kind of different. She did finally get him to when he was older, maybe like 65 or 70. She got him to change. Took her a lot of years to do it, but he finally started, going to her church and that kind of thing. But yeah, I sometimes it's good to just leave people where they are, from what I can see it, see of it. We shouldn't be trying to, you know, transform people into the way that we think that they should be. I don't think that's right. Um, but she finally got him to commit. For years, she kept saying it was going to happen. It's going to happen. Praying it's going to happen, and it did. Our congregation doesn't preach about hellfire, brimstone, and damnation. Right. Right. That's true. And a lot of them still do preach that. Yeah, they still do. The Baptists and the Pentecostal, they preach that. And knowing what we know now, I mean what I know now. I don't know what you guys feel, but I think we're going back to where we came from, and that's not hell. So that's what I believe. What about you guys? How do we get on this conversation? I have no idea how we got on this conversation. We've been talking about it for a while. But I'm glad you guys are here with me tonight. We were talking about food at one time, though, guys. So, tomorrow is Sunday. I have no idea what I'm going to have for dinner. Maybe I'll get something, go out again. I'm not sure. Um, but normally, I don't eat breakfast. I don't know about you guys. I usually have me a smoothie. I have me a green smoothie or something for breakfast or juice or something. That's what I'm used to because when I get up in the morning, I'm not real hungry. I don't know about you guys, but it's not like I don't want a big breakfast. Now, I used to do that. I attend to the words and leave. You listen. I attend, listen to the words and leave. I'm not going to do anything that makes me uncomfortable or change who I am. I have to be me. Right, right. I agree with that. Yeah. Well, the music is good too. You know, if you're there, the music is usually good. And earth-centered spirituality is Unitarian. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. Um, so that makes it open where everybody can kind of fit in to the service because they're not trying to teach you, you got to do this, you got to do that. I have been Baptist and Islamic. Today I am just spiritual. Oh, Karen, that's interesting. Yeah, Baptist and Islamic. Huh. I know some Islamic people too. I know they don't eat pork, and I'm sure a lot of other things too. I think if you're Islamic, don't you have to marry the same kind of person? I think. I remember that happened to way back. One of my friends converted to Islam, and then when they got married, they had to marry somebody that was in the same faith, and you had to, you didn't really date. It was like it was set up or something. Am I remembering that right? I think so. Yeah, I think that's how it was with them because everyone in our little circle was surprised that they got married, and then it was like, well, he's he converted to Islam, so he had to find him someone in that religion to marry. So, and then I know this person that changed his name. So he didn't want the name that his mother gave him, and he changed his name. I mean, it's just so much, guys. It's so much. I know a lot of different people in different religions, though. Yeah, it's crazy. Valerie, you say you love breakfast. Yeah, I do. Like, okay, so I don't cook breakfast, but, if I'm out, then I'll have breakfast, like some pancakes, some grits, or, something like that. Um, Toast, potatoes, that kind of thing. Hash browns, things like that. Yeah. Me and my husband go out. That's what we'll do because. But normally on a daily basis, I make us a smoothie or some juice or something like that. Every once in a while. Like when we didn't have power, this week, was it? Oh, it was right after New Year. It was New Year's night, New Year's Eve night. I was on a live, And I got off around 11:45 because we always do a toast at 12 when the ball drops. We didn't get a chance to see the ball drop because everything went. We had no internet, no TV, no phone service or anything like that, right? So when we got up in the morning on January 1st, still was nothing. And so, we just got in the car. We have internet in his truck. So I took my iPad and then I started calling around and called our internet service. And yeah, everything was out. So we stopped and got breakfast, and I just had pancakes and coffee and grits. Yeah. But I don't do that a lot. Okay, Lisa says she's not much of a breakfast person, but if there's strawberries and cantaloupe, I'm in. Yeah, yeah, that's me too. In the summertime with the cantaloupe and the fruit is so good in the summertime. Watermelon, that's like my breakfast. It's hard to find good fruit right now. I was looking for oranges today in the store. I didn't find any good oranges. I did get some grapes. Bananas are always good. See, I love fruit. I can eat fruit all day long. Um, yeah. So that is that is good. See, you're making me hungry now. I could eat that any time of the day or night. Some fruit. Yeah, orange juice. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that kind of thing is good. I do juice. I have a juicer, and I'll juice like some fruit, and it's really good, fresh like that. Just juice your own oranges or juice some watermelon or you know, mix it with some strawberries and some lime, some ginger. That's good. That's good eating. And it keeps you full for a while too. Like if I have a smoothie in the morning, I'm full for hours, you know? Because I'm thinking today, when I got through running around, okay, I had a smoothie in the morning and then I ran around until like 5 o'clock and then I ate my greens and my sweet potato and my cornbread. Yeah. So it keeps you full because you got all your nutrients in there. Yep. So yeah, you make my mouth water with that. I want some of that now. Yep. So what do you usually eat for breakfast in the morning? Um, when you say you love breakfast, what is that like for you? Valerie, what is that like for you? You have bacon and eggs and sausage and toast? Okay. Kitchen break. Yeah, it makes you hungry. But I'm not running down to the kitchen now. I got my water. Hopefully, this will do me for the night. That's me. It's late here. It's 12:38 here, as a matter of fact. January 11th, Sunday, January 11th, 12:38 a.m. Yep. So there's none of that. Hash browns, eggs, and sausage. Yeah. Well, when I used to eat it, I used to, I did love it. I'm not gonna say I didn't love it, but it didn't take me. See, I'm one of those people. When I decided that I wasn't gonna eat that stuff anymore because it was messing with my health, I went cold turkey. Like I just said, I'm not eating it anymore. And everybody was like, "Well, don't you want it?" No, no. It looks good and everything, but you could not get me to eat anything like that anymore. I just don't want it. I think it's just because I haven't had it for so long, you know. But yeah, you fall just like some things you eat so much of and you just don't want it anymore. It's the same way. It's the same way. I think Tabitha Brown did that too. Yeah, I think that's how she did it too. It's better if you just go cold turkey rather than some people say, well, just don't eat any meat on Mondays or whenever you decide to do it. Don't do it this day. Don't do it that day. Blah blah blah. That's a hard way to do it because all the other days you're eating the regular stuff. Which, guys, I'm not telling anybody to do this. Don't. I'm not saying you need to be very vegetarian or vegan or anything like that. So don't think I'm judging anybody. But I'm just saying how it is. Usually, when you just go like I'm not going to eat it one day or 2 days or whatever, it's harder than when you just stop. But the thing is, you got to be prepared to, you know, eat the other things. See, I was never a big meat eater anyway, so it was no big deal. Um, but you got to prepare yourself. You got to have the right things in your house. Otherwise, you're going to go right back to eating the same thing. Yeah, mostly chicken. Oh, quit drinking Coca-Cola. Cold turkey, yeah. I wonder, was it because it made you sick? Because that can mess with you. Oh, I love grits too, Valerie. That's one of my favorite things, grits, but no sugar. Some people put sugar on their grits. Okay, so Karen says, yes, I married an Islamic man, but my family was Baptist and I was baptized at 6 years old. Okay. Okay, so I wasn't baptized until, let me see, how was I? I probably was, I was probably in my late 20s because in the Pentecostal church that I went to, if you weren't saved with the Holy Ghost, you didn't get baptized. Is that the same way it was for you, Valerie? So you didn't get baptized. So when my kids were little, and I got baptized with them because then I had joined the Baptist church because that's where my husband went, and you baptize your kids when they're little. But no, I probably would have never got baptized. But I got baptized with them. But I probably would have never got baptized because I could never get the Holy Ghost. I never, you know, that was another thing. I never got that. So I guess, what they call the Holy Ghost. I think that's just breath, but whatever. Um, you know, People were falling out and doing that kind of all that kind of stuff. I'd just be looking like, I wonder why I can't get that. It's funny now, but it wasn't then when I saw everybody else doing it. So I just assume it's no way my husband will eat vegan. I will have to cook different meals. Yeah, well, my husband, he will eat whatever I cook. Now, he's not big on meats like he used to be, but I can cook, he'll eat whatever I cook. But I do like, he likes fish. He likes to fish and he likes fish, so, he gets fish. Um, but there's enough people in our family that don't eat meat that it is no big deal. But he's not picky like that. I don't. And I do sometimes, I do cook, different meals. But what I do is like if I bake him chicken or something, I'll bake enough to last a while and I'll put it in the freezer. I don't have to do that every day. Or like I made him salmon one day. I just had a lot of slabs of salmon, baked it, put it in the freezer. So everything else, he'll have a little bit of meat with something. But, like if I have rice and tomatoes or rice and beans or whatever, I'll have that and I just add it, a piece of meat with his. But he don't have to have it every day. Mm-mm. And I'm blessed with that. At one point, he did stop, and it helped him, you know. But and then he was on that thing. That's how I know it's hard to do it with, okay, today I'm not going to eat meat, and tomorrow I am going to eat meat because of him, you know. Now he's went cold turkey before, and but he likes to fish and he likes fish, so basically he eats a lot of that. Um, but I have lentil tacos. I make him lentil tacos. It's not a big deal in my house. I think people just get used to it. Yeah, but yeah, sometimes you do have to make different meals. Like, let me see, when was that? Christmas. My daughter said, "I, we want tacos for Christmas." Okay, good. They're coming from somewhere else. They don't live, near me. And she said, "I'll bring." Well, she only lives an hour away though, an hour and 15 minutes. And she said, "I'll bring. I'll cook the meat for the tacos, and I'll bring the salad. Everything that goes on the tacos, right? Cheese, all that kind of stuff." Okay, so I was like, "Cool." Now my daughter and her husband don't eat meat, and I don't eat meat. So it was so strange how we are doing that. So I made lentil tacos, and because her kids like, the regular beef tacos, and of course, if there's beef tacos being cooked, that's what my husband's going to eat. But if she wasn't going to bring the beef tacos, um, then he would have ate the lentil tacos. So that's how we do. But anyway, it got to a point where we were very confused because it's so funny. Okay, three of us ate vegan stuff. The kids, her son and daughter, and my husband ate the meat. Some people wanted their shells soft, and some people wanted their shells hard. And I was like, and they were like, "Well, why did you make these shells soft? Why did you make?" I'm like, and then I started filling them with the beans. It was so confusing because some wanted one thing and another one another thing. It was crazy, but we got it figured out. But when you're doing stuff like that, it's like you got to make this for this person and that for that person. And it was crazy, but it all worked out and we had fun. So, but it's just how you do when certain people in your house eat certain things and other people eat certain things. That's just the way it is. But my husband would have ate either. But since my daughter was bringing the beef for the kids, of course he ate the beef. So that's how we did Christmas, which was crazy. Oh, good evening, Green Eyes. Good to see you too. Traditional Swiss fondue. Well, we rang in the new year uh, with a drink. Me and my husband we always have a drink and we toast to the next year. And so that's how we did it, even though we didn't have any, we couldn't, I think that's the first time in a long time I haven't seen a ball drop. And I didn't see a drop this time. So that was different. Yeah, they did. They enjoyed it. They were good. Either way it went. But I know my daughter was like, cause see, my husband eats the shells, hard shells, right? So I'm just cooking hard shells, and then Well, my grandson, she said, my son, he doesn't want hard shells. He wants soft shells. And I'm like, okay. So it went like that. It was some wanted hard shells, some wanted soft shells, some wanted lentils, some wanted, you know, ground beef. It was just kind of all over the place. But yeah, they enjoyed it. Yeah. Yeah, Lisa, you're saying, yeah, this Swiss fondue. Okay, so you were dipping things in the fondue. Is that what you did? I'm sure that's what you did. Um, that it sounds good. Sounds delicious to me. But that time we always stay up. We always stay up to 12 o'clock to watch the ball drop. So that was not unusual for us. We've done that for years. You know, that's how we bring in the new year, and it's fun. Just it's just me and him now. So yeah, yeah, that sounds good. A cheesy dip. Yeah. Yep. I don't have one of those fondue things so that you can, but I wouldn't do it anyway with the cheese. I would have to do a different kind of cheese. But I guess you could dip other things in it too, though. You know, you could make other sauces and that kind of thing, I would think. Or is that just cheese? I'm not sure. But you know, when people, like if I have people over for dinner, you know, I'll have like you know, some kind of meat, but the most of the meal is going to be fruits or vegetables or something like that. So, and they're just used to that. If I go somewhere and, you know, I don't want people to make exceptions for me at all, so I always bring what I want to eat, but enough for everybody else. Because I can remember when I first did this, coffee is my breakfast and it holds me through lunchtime. Yep, coffee is good. Coffee does hold you. I normally don't eat until 4 or 5, but I'm always drinking lemon water throughout the day. Oh, lemon water is the best. It's the best for you because it helps with, um, you know, it helps you eliminate, but it also keeps the acid down. Oh, chocolate. That's right. You do chocolate fondue. Yeah, I could eat that. Dip strawberries in chocolate, and I like the dark chocolate. Dark chocolate is what I like to eat. I don't have to have the milk chocolate. The dark chocolate is what I like. But yeah, that's a good idea. I could do that. I forgot about that. Mm-hmm. I'll have to think about doing that one day. But I can remember going to people's houses when I first stopped eating meat, and people were like, and I don't really like to call it vegan. I just say plant based is how I eat. Um, but people were like, oh, you don't eat meat? What do you eat? How do you get your protein? That kind of thing. Guys, if you ever tell somebody to, and it's everybody, I'm trying to think, there's nobody around me that doesn't eat meat, you know, that just totally, I'm the only one, except for, you know, like I said, my daughter and her husband. Um, my son doesn't have to have, he's a chicken fish kind of person too. No pork, nothing like that. But for the most part, I can't even think of anybody else around me that doesn't eat it. So you know, everybody was like, thought I was crazy. And I was like, okay, but I'm feeling better. I go to the doctor, and the doctor says everything has turned over and everything is going in the right direction. Why would I change it? I had to do semi-sweet chocolate and mint chocolate. Yeah, put the mint in there. I love mint too. I love the mint. Dark semi-sweet. Yeah, yeah, that's good. That sounds delicious. See, you talking about going back to the kitchen time. Yeah, that sounds delicious. We could do a live and everybody eats. They have these eating shows on. I'm like, dang. On YouTube, you guys watch the ones where people they do all that eating and they have all that food. I could never do that. What mukbangs? And they have all that food and they're just chowing down and smacking and on a daily basis. Mm-mm, mm-mm. That would make me not want to eat. Period. You know. But I've seen those shows, where people just they do the mukbang thing. Oh, good night, Valerie. I will see you again soon. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Thanks for the super chat also. I appreciate it. Have a good evening. Yep. It's almost 1 o'clock now here. So that would make it Valerie time would be 9, 10. 10 o'clock, yeah. But I'm not going to get up early, guys. Well, even if I wake up, at 7 or something like that, because I will wake up, I'm going to lay in the bed an hour before I get out. Just resting, just taking it easy, that kind of thing. You know, I don't feel like I have to get up early anymore. When the kids were little and you had to do that kind of stuff, you had to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning, take them to school, do all that kind of stuff. I tell them now, you just don't, they complain. Well, I got to take the kids here, got to take kids there. I say, I can remember doing that kind of thing. Yeah, but now I have to do it, so I just relax. Oh, I got a super chat. Lisa, thank you. Did you have a question you wanted answered, Lisa, at all? I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Lisa. So we're doing the questions today. If you have a question, you get a 3 card. You can get a 3 card reading. But it's been fun just talking to you guys tonight and just hanging out. I think this should be a Saturday night thing where we just hang out. What do you guys think? I like that. Just get together and talk about wherever the conversation leads us, as long as it's not politics, because, I had enough of that. It's enough of that going on. I mean, it's all over the place anyway, so I think in that something like that, we just got to wait to see what Spirit is going to do. We can read on it from now on. But I do remember, guys, if you were with me, every time we ask a question, Spirit said, patience, patience, patience. And finally, it was like, okay, we can guess at this stuff or we can be patient. We can look at you can't really, it's hard with tarot to tell when. Now, you get that something is going to happen, but when? And I think that's something that Spirit has to give you intuitively as far as when. But it's hard to figure out when it comes to tarot. And the thing about it is we were getting, when I would ask the pendulum, it would be like, when are they going to go? And we would get January, February, March, April. And I would do the cards and Spirit say, be patient, patience, patience, patience. And we couldn't be patient. I think that's something we need to learn when it comes to this kind of thing, is being patient. Let's see, what is Lisa saying here? Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate you. I just really enjoyed the conversation, but I'm curious what the cards hold for me. Okay. Well, hey, I'm going to tell you. Let's see what cards. Let's see. What are we going to use? You know what? I'm going to use this one. And this is the Light Seers Tarot. It's one of my favorite decks. The Light Seers. Good night, Latrice. Yes, and sweet dreams to you too. Thank you for hanging out with us. I appreciate you. Okay. Do you have a Lisa? Are you thinking career wise, relationship wise? Are you having? Do you want to? Because otherwise, it's just going to give me general. Yeah, you love this deck too. This is one of our favorite decks. Do you want to give me a certain thing that you want to look at, Lisa? Or you just want general? General, okay. So information releases. Wow. Lisa, you got some good cards here. You got the Nine of Cups. You know what that means? That's good stuff. Your wishes, whatever you're wishing for, is going to come true. And with all that, just look at that card. This is one of the reasons this is my favorite deck. Look at how she's jumping. She's happy. We got the yellow background, which is, sunshine, good things happening. And then you have the Queen of Wands. So there's some things happening for you. Things are going to start to move for you. Um, and it's like, you got that light there. The light is definitely, find my camera, shining for you again. A really great card. And you have the lovers card. So I don't know how you're feeling about your relationships or whatever, but maybe there's some kind of partnership that you're going to get involved in if you're not already. Things are going to go for that good for you there too, because that number 6 card is also about harmony. Okay, so things are going to come together for you. So, that's a general read in a sense. But yeah, things look good. Your future from these cards look really good. So I don't think you have anything to worry about, Lisa. Everything came out really great. You have the 9, the 6, and then that Queen of Wands there. Yeah. So that is great. Thank you. I hope that helped. I hope that, well, you said you didn't really need a reading, but that turned out really great. Yeah. Yeah, that is really good. I appreciate your super chat also. Thank you. Yep. So we have a lot of people on the chat tonight, and I'm really surprised because I didn't think we would get that many people because it was so late. But hey, this is really nice. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Yeah. Anybody else? Anybody else? I'm gonna stay on here maybe another 5 minutes. So, um, If you guys, anybody want a reading, we have the $11 and $22 read. So, but it's great. Karen says, my husband is vegetarian. I am leaning towards his dishes because chicken does not taste like it used to. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That, the food that what they're feeding the chickens now is not what they used to feed the chickens back in the day. So, um, I'm sure it tastes different now. You know, it probably wouldn't be that hard for you then, Karen. It wouldn't be that hard for you because do you cook for your husband? If you're already cooking vegetarian meals, it shouldn't be that hard for you to go that way. And are you only eating chicken, like chicken and fish or something like that? What do they call it when you just eat fish? I think it's like a pescatarian, something like that. Starts with a P. You know, could drop the chicken and just eat fish if you like fish. But it's hard for some people. I know it's hard. I probably would have never done it either if I didn't have to. But everything improved, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stick with it. Yeah, that's the same thing. Somebody mentioned Tabitha Brown. That's the same thing she did. She did it for health reasons, and she said she felt so much better, and she just never went back. It gives you a lot more energy and stuff like that too. You know, you're very energetic when you let that go because it's kind of heavy. You know, the meats kind of bring you down a little bit. Is That's where I felt anyway. I don't know. Not the same for everybody. So, a picky seafood eater. Mm. When you say a picky seafood, hanged out, hanging out with you is peaceful. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm glad you feel that way. I'm glad you feel that way. So, Lisa, you say you're a picky seafood eater. So certain things of the sea you don't eat. I wouldn't eat everything out of the sea. I wouldn't eat everything either. Certain things. Like people love lobster. I couldn't eat it. It looks like no, I couldn't eat it. I don't want to say what it looks like to me, but um, just the look of certain things, the way certain things look, I don't want to touch it. Mm-mm. And then it's like they pick them and they drop them in boiling water, and but people love it. It's got to taste good, but I just couldn't make myself eat it. I would never make myself eat something like that. So but to each his own. There's nothing wrong with it. I think some people have to eat meat. I don't think everybody can not eat it. I think your makeup makes a difference too. How you're made up and that kind of thing. I think that some people have to have, you have to have, people talk about protein. Um, but I don't know. You get plenty of protein with just eating vegetables. You don't go. I don't think you can ever not get enough protein. Um, I think you have to be careful with the carbs. You have to balance it out. You have to eat things that have protein in them when you go plant based, because you do need the protein. Um, but I've never had a problem with it. But the thing that you have to be careful with is your vitamin B12 because meat has a lot of vitamin B12. And I take a supplement for that because I can tell when I don't have enough of it, and then it's like my nervous system gets a little off, and I feel jittery and stuff like that. So I have to take vitamin B12 because I don't get it from the meat. Yeah, some people have to have meat. I agree with that. Hmm. Yeah. I don't think everybody should go meatless. I mean, and I do feel like spirit put certain things on earth for us to have, But you know, like I said, it affected my health, so that's why I stopped. But you know, a lot of people it doesn't. And the thing about it is, when you think about it, our parents ate it and they were just fine. I think that now they put so much stuff in it that you don't know what you're eating. It's hard to, they put all the antibiotics and all that kind of stuff in it, and that's the thing that messes with people sometimes. It's when they get through shooting it up with all these different things, and they don't graze in the grass anymore and eat like that. Now they feed them certain things and they put them in these cages, and I think that hurts people more than just saying you're eating the meat. Because and now there's no it's hard to find as far as the administration now, they're not really paying close attention to what's going on the shelves, and we have to be careful about that kind of thing too. I mean, they don't even want to tell us about what diseases are out here anymore, but that'll change when he's gone. I think that'll change. But yeah, I think that's the difference, because people ate it, and there was a time that some people just in certain um, cultures just didn't eat a lot of meat anyway, and so that's how people grew. But in other cultures, people ate meat, and they're fine. It's just the meat today, I think. The meat that we have to deal with today. It can be, it's not good sometimes. You just got to be careful. You know what I'm saying? Especially now, like I said, with what we have now going on, you got to be careful of everything. I mean, it's not just the meat; it's the fruits and the vegetables, too. You know, you still got to be careful. Whatever way you go, whatever you put, and you got to eat. So, it's not like we can go around not eating. Well, some people do that too, though. I know you guys have heard of breatharians, and some people that just drink water. I could never do that. Mm-mm. Nope. But there are some people that do that too. And you would think that that's a little weird, but I mean, they live through it, so, you know. Lisa says, I have Crohn's and it affects my electrolytes and potassium levels, so I have to have protein. Yeah, I know somebody like that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some people have to have it. I do. Yeah, I agree with that, Lisa. Oh, Coolberry is back. I just came back to say I'm sorry for directly asking about Instagram ID, because I just follow every person I subscribe on YouTube. Instagram ID. Oh, no. I'm I think you're saying that you thought you were on Instagram? I think that's I don't remember you asking about that. Coolberry. Hmm. No, I don't remember you asking about that. But if you haven't subscribed here, subscribe. I drink more water nowadays. I like to drink it with lemon and strawberries. Mm-hmm. Now that sounds good. Fresh strawberries and lemon in water. Yeah, I drink more water than I used to too. I used to not be a water drinker, but now I drink a lot more water. It's good for you. We should drink a lot. I'm not really a real soft drinker. You know, if I'm out somewhere, every once in a while I'll have some. If I go to somebody's house and I'm offered that, I might have some. But I do like coffee. I like coffee black. I like black coffee. Um, that kind of thing. But yeah, I like water. I like juices. I like wine. Um, just your normal stuff. Just your normal stuff. Yeah, but that sounds good, Lisa. Yeah, water with lemon is good anyway. You know, lemons and strawberries. That sounds delicious. Yep. So, guys, I gotta go. It's been nice hanging out with you guys. So, we're gonna do this again next Saturday. I'm gonna come on later and just hang out and you know see how things go. See where the conversation leads us. But it was great not talking about other things. You know what I'm saying? It was that's pretty good. Just have a conversation and not talk about all the other stuff that's bringing our vibration down. So I thank you guys so much. Lisa said, yes, I cook for him and I am losing my taste for chicken and fish each day. You should just stop then. If you don't, it's up to you. But I'm saying, if you don't want it, then just go for a while without it, like a week, and see how you feel. And then, yeah, yep. But thank you guys. I will see you all probably in a couple of days. I appreciate you all coming in. I appreciate all the super chats. And you guys have a good evening. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Yeah, don't forget to hit the like button, guys. Thank you. Bye.